Our next big adventure in the Russian Northern Republic of Karelia made an unexpected turn, quite literally down a dirt road. You see that? It's all the way behind the trees. For starters, we saw what looked like an old, rotting church spire off in the distance, and with the road really only forking in two different ways, we decided to see how close we could get to it. And close, my friends, we did indeed get. Well, we found it. Now we gotta see if we can get in. 1935. Not bad. It's doing well for 1935. See right there. There's a little cross and two angels. Oh, wow. Of Lutheran work on the walls. Oh, check this out. It's Finnish. So this is justification, I think. I don't know the rest of it because I don't speak Finnish. That's all you can see up there in the corner. There's Finnish writing. These are what's left of the pews. This is where people sat when they worshipped. Here's the cross. So this cross originally must have been up there. You can see the holes in the wall because there's always a cross behind the altar. Wow. So this is Johannes. This is John. You have, this is more, can't read it sadly. Oh, someone's up there? Yes. Yeah, someone's up at the bell tower. That explains a lot. So you have Jesus, both sides is Moses. This is like the transfiguration. So Jesus, Moses, and the prophet Elijah. You have Alpha and Omega. That's what they call God. So in the Greek alphabet, it's Alpha's first, Omega's last. So he's everything. This is, you've seen this in your Orthodox churches. This is Kai Rho, Christos, the first two letters. This?
Yes.
I mean, this is a fancy Lutheran church, yeah. Do you see how it echoes?
Yes.
Like, so let's say I'm at the pulpit and I'm preaching, everyone can hear me. In Orthodox churches, you can hear an echo, but it's not this profound.
Okay. I have never been in Catholic churches, so that's why I'm asking.
Really?
Yes.
So also a difference between Lutherans and Orthodox. It depends on the one, but this is the altar. The altar, is pushed up against the wall in the more traditional ones. Sometimes they have it in front, but this one's up against the wall. And this is actually, this enclave here. So when you do the rites, when you're turning the bread into the body and blood, if you were to speak right here, when you're saying it, it's bouncing off the front wall and shooting back so everyone can hear it. It's like acoustics. Orthodox tend to have a table in the middle of the room.
Yes.
So this is one of those differences.
And our altar is prohibited for women.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wait, what's prohibited?
To go in through for women.
Oh, going through the iconostasis?
Yes.
Yeah.
Only
so
men.
Most Lutherans, like you can see, there's no iconostasis.
Yes.
But yeah, the officiant was always a man. What do they find? A letter?
This is a message to the universe from some Russian woman.
Oh, I'll let her speak about it. Wow. So this is the sacristy. It's pretty destroyed now. This is that side room where they would prepare the robes, the Eucharist. You can see there's a back door there. this is the sacristy. So this is the part where in the Orthodox church the deacon would go through the side doors. This is that for Lutherans. You would come in here, you would prepare the Eucharist, the bread and the wine. You'd vest, you'd put your clothes on. This is the sacristy. My church still has a room right off the side just like this.
Okay.
It's pretty destroyed, but that's what this is supposed to be. Wow, what's over here? Let's see. I don't know what was supposed to be in here. Probably just some sort of closet. This side room, I have no idea what this is supposed to be. It's probably just another sacristy. Fascinating. Yeah. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dong.
Wow.
It's okay, they're Finnish, they can't understand. Oh, this is the bell tower, huh?
Так.
Well, let's avoid that for right now. That looks terrifying.
And you also have the second floor, yes? In the
Yeah. Well, it depends on how big. My church doesn't have a second floor. It just depends on the church.
And for what it is?
Just more seating. Yeah, a lot of seating. Yeah, usually this is where the organ is normally, is right here. So there's all Lutheran churches are known for organs, so this is normally what it is.
Is it an old painting?
Yeah, this is so this must be a gospel writer, because he's writing in the book. I don't know. It's so faded, I have no idea who it is. But it looks like a gospel writer.
Так необычно.
Oh, look, I just noticed on top, there's the, let me zoom in. Yeah, you can see the eye. So there's the eye.
Масоны.
Yep. And so you have the four gospel writers. You have Luke, Lucas, Matthias, Johannes, which means that one must be Matthew, Mark, Marcus. It's in Finnish, I can't really tell.
And this is angels?
Where? In the middle?
No, upper.
Oh, up on the sides?
Какой-то конь, horse.
Yeah, I think that those are what those are, but I can't tell.
Это эти, ну, ученики, наверное. Нет?
No. So on top you have God the Father. That's the eye. Then you have the Holy Spirit, the dove, and then the sheep, the Son. Yeah, it's a Trinity. Wow, cool. What is? Oh. Our fortress is our God. That's a Lutheran hymn.
You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
I will never show this.
I only sing when I want to.
Да?
Svet hates that. She always tries to get me to sing to show people, and then I'm like, It's fascinating. These stairs, these are 100 years old. They're still doing good. I say as we all collapse. Oh, jeez. It's a little sketchy up here. Ooh.
It's not stable.
Yeah, you can feel it. Hang on up here.
Okay.
And never put your full weight on any of these. I don't trust these at all. Oh. We made it! Holy crap. Wow. Look at this bell.
Chad, only you can reach it, I guess.
I'll ring it for us. That's where that thing is, but I'm going to try and not. Alright. Let's see. Alright. There's a cemetery? cemetery?
Right there.
We gotta check it out. Oh, wow. There is. I wonder if those are war graves. They look like it. We'll check it out when we come out. I bet there's not just that. I bet there's a natural grave here, like one from back in the day. Lutherans always buried in their own cemeteries. So I bet somewhere around here. Oh, there's a structure over here. There's a wooden structure over there.
Yeah.
I bet if we look around, there's like a legit, like old Lutheran cemetery. Somewhere around here. Oh, here's the roof. All right, let's roll down. So this is this graveyard. These are definitely newer than this church.
They died because they want to be independent, have independent feelings.
Oh, so these guys were the ones that fought right before the revolution? Oh no, these are World War II deaths, aren't they?
It says in Russian below. For independent Finland.
Independent Finland.
For independent Finland.
I don't know what that means.
That's how they call it.
That's what they call it, Russia? Well, if only I can read Finnish. Okay, so this segment I spent talking about everything that the sign said and what I learned up until that point, but the audio about halfway through cut out. So here is essentially what I discovered in post-production. This church, frankly, was such a cool look into Finnish and Russian and Karelian history and religious beliefs. Since Lutheranism has a very long history here, it's been here since the 16th century, it's one of the first places that actually accepted the reforms of the reformers. The church here, though, was a lot newer. I think it was in the early 1900s. But this church in particular comes from the Finnish branch of the Reformation, which has had adherents here for centuries, until this part of Karelia was ceded to Russia as kind of a recompense for winning the siege of Leningrad against Finland. But before any of that even happened, though, there's this graveyard that had dozens of people who died trying not to be Finnish or Russian, but were trying to be Karelian. They were actually fighting off the USSR's attempts, as well as the Finnish militants who lived there, and they wanted to have their own country. They wanted Karelia to be its own country, and they lost. And that ended in about 1914. They fought for several years. And on top of that, you know, when the USSR eventually won, they were incorporated into a Soviet republic. And when World War II began about 4 years later, you could think, wow, no one can catch a break here. More bodies were added to the cemetery, and so this monument is both for the USSR citizens who perished in World War II, as well as the ones that died fighting to be independent, to be their own country. When all that was well and done, we decided to head down the lonely roads of Karelia to our next stop, a 13th century fortress called Karelia Fortress. Originally mentioned in 1143 in an early Russian chronicle, it was designed to help the locals fight off Swedish raiders, which if that doesn't give you some Viking vibes, I don't know what would. By 1300, this more advanced fortress structure was built to kind of reinforce their position, and was even mentioned in 1294 by a Swedish chronicle called Kexholm. What does it say?
Умри, Рюрик, в кораль, в воин, там положен бысть в город корабль.
And that means in real language?
This is about how the Novgorod was started, the city, by Рюрик. Летописный свод, история о славянском народе, зачале Новгорода.
Wow. So what's the deal with this fortress?
Just an ancient fortress that helped Ruthenian people to fight with Finnish.
So this helped the Ruthenian people fight against like Finnish Vikings.
Sweden, not Vikings, like Swedish people, Finnish people.
Let's see what this is. Until a dog jumps out. What is in here? Wow, some ancient steps. up and through the wall. That's cool. After a brief occupation by invading Swedish forces, it was permanently under the control of the Novgorod Republic via a war treaty in 1323. Well, until the Swedes took it back again in 1580, and in 1597, and in 1610, and you get the picture. The fortress stands today as a monument to Karelian military pride, and it's actually in a military park full of modern tanks and rockets that kids are seen playing on top of, and being adjacent to a lake where the only people raiding it now are a bunch of ducks and geese waddling up to its riverbanks. But if you're going to Karelia anyways, this is on the way, and you can purchase a ticket for less than $2. You'll be taken literally through a tunnel, through a gate in the fortress wall, and it's just a complete time capsule. You pop out on the other side, and the place is as it would have looked hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Giant anchor. Wow, that is huge. Jeez. It's twice my height. So it's 4 meters tall.
It's Swedish.
Swedish anchor. How dare they anchor here? That's cool.
Этот вид из окна у этих людей, кто... Камера 2 года.
This is a prison?
Yes.
Oh, look, it's made of breastplates.
Yeah.
Armors. This whole this door is made of like armor of people.
Это, видимо, enemies.
It doesn't say don't touch.
Enemies.
It's leather.
Enemies. Leather?
Yeah, it's leather. It's animal hide. This is old Finnish leather. So this is what they kept on the door. They were like, if you come in here.
It's a metal. It's a metal.
This is metal?
It's a metal.
This is metal.
Look.
What did I touch?
Look. It's
Мне кажется, окаменевшая. Она не звенит.
Old leather? А там вон дерево еще.
And wood underneath.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's poets, Russian poets who were with in our political views, and they were prisoners here.
So this was a political prisoner,
Yeah,
like prison. I don't know any of these people.
with poets, with political decabrists.
Decabrists? Like
Yes.
Decemberists?
Yes,
Oh, they kept Decemberists here.
with and with.
These guys too.
Yes.
Oh, what do you know?
And they saw like how people live in Europe, in Paris, and then they came back and they were like, we want the same.
And the
We
Tsar
are
was like,
gonna
we're
re-
not doing that.
We're gonna rebel.
Yes.
We want to be like we want democracy.
Alright, so they wanted democracy and they got locked in a hole.
Yes. And,
Okay. Fair enough.
and also they were good
Delivered
to the north,
Kalima.
to Kalima.
Really?
Yes. To Siberia.
Yeah. Why not?
And their wives followed them. Their wives. That's
Oh, I see. And before you leave, if you get a chance, the museums inside really aren't that long, but they're full of artifacts that they found inside the Bastille and armories of the fortress. So it's a really cool look behind the curtains of history. All this stuff, it's not some rich donator of goods that had these in a private collection and gave it to these guys to show off. They were stored inside this fortress by Russians, by Karelians, by Swedes, by the Imperial Russian dynasty, needing it eventually. Someday they go, we're going to need these flags and sabers and all these bits and pieces of armor, so store them here. And the only reason they were uncovered is because all these years later, we still have them there. Thanks to the passage of conflicts and time, we now get to look at these things face to face in a safe place. That's enough pontificating from me. We're heading out to our final leg of our trip, the climax of our experience in Karelia before going back on our regular Russian journeys farther south. We're heading to the Holy Island Monastery of Valam.